be aware of their HBR article titled Manage Your Energy and Not Your Time, which was published in HBR 2007. And I encourage everyone to certainly read this article. It's really very, very interesting. Maybe before we go into materials res, this should be a sharing exercise. We have a great crowd here, 37 participants right now, a very diverse group. So I'm sure that we can all learn from each other. As Geraldine mentioned, just if you have a question, drop it to her and then we can address it. And I'm now going to share my screen so that you get to see my first slides. Excellent. Does it work? Geraldine, is it okay?
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect.
Great. So what is very important? Here you see the performance energy spectrum. And we actually, as human beings, we oscillate from one energy state to the other. And we can control to a certain extent these energy states. So all the 4 states that you see here, there is certainly one of them which is optimal for high performance, but all of them do have a purpose, and we can learn ways how to manage our energy and ensure that we can oscillate in the right way within this energy spectrum. To give you a little bit of an explanation of these energy zones, so the top right hand corner, which is high performance, there you have high energy and you're also high performing. So how does it feel to be in this corner? Here we are very enthusiastic. We are thriving, we are in the flow, we're optimistic. There is an ideal mix of adrenaline and dopamine release, and we can work on things tirelessly. However, we cannot forever stay in this high performance zone. It's not sustainable. Once we start to take on even more work because we feel so great at what we are doing, we might overload ourselves, and there we might move into what is called the survival mode, where the performance level is still very high, but the energy level starts to get low. So how does it feel like to be in this survival zone? We are starting to become a little bit irritated. We may also become impatient. We may feel frustrated, anxious, and also start to worry a bit. There is a bit too much of adrenaline and cortisol level with respect to our hormones. If we are not careful in this stage, and if we are very stressed out, there is surveys that show that people who are stressed out, they can influence and increase level. So just from watching a person who is very stressed, this can increase our cortisol levels, even so if we have been in maybe the high performance quarter renewable level before. So very important to be aware once we start entering to the survival mode. Now, if this spiral is down spiraling, and if we are even producing more cortisol and more serotonin, we start coming into the burnout phase. So there is low performance and low energy level. We start feeling sad, we start feeling depressed, we start feeling hopeless, exhausted, and very anxious. The key here in this energy spectrum is what is called the renewal zone. The renewal zone is where we start to rest and digest, where there is a good level of both dopamine and serotonin. We start feeling relaxed, we start feeling peaceful, calm, receptive, and we also might start feeling bored. So boredom is actually not a bad thing. It's a sign that we start to renew our energy levels. And you cannot, from survival and burnout, move directly into the high performance zone. So the renewal zone is really key. If you're in a survival mode, you need to go into the renewal zone in order to be high performing again. This can take days or weeks. If you are in the burnout zone and you go into renewal, this can take months or even years until you will be able to go back into the high performance zone. So we will later today speak about rituals that can help you go into the renewal zone, that can help you renew your energy levels. And what I would also like you to take a mental note here already is that oftentimes when we think about renewal, our mindset is that this is a waste of time, that comes at the cost of high performance. But this is not the case. It's in fact a necessity for high performance that we start to renew ourselves. So let's explore a little bit the 4 energy sources. On the basis of the work of David Schwartz and Katie McCartney, there are 4 energy sources: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We will explore these energy sources in a bit more detail as we go on. But what is key, before we can take action, we need to first take stock. It all starts with self-awareness about the energy stage in which we are in, so that we can start to reflect on what is it that drains our energy and what is it that gives us energy. So let us therefore start to train a little bit our energy muscles by just doing a little bit of self-awareness, building around our very own energy level in this very moment. And therefore I would like you to start reflecting a little bit on your energy state. And also it would be great if we could feel a little bit this virtual room that we are in. And in order to do so, I would invite you to go to www.menti.com and enter the code 971486 and just select in which energy zone you are in right now, so that we can get a little bit of a feeling in the room. Menti works best if you use it on a separate device, for example on your mobile phone, if you're connected with your laptop, or vice versa.
How does one spell Menti, please?
menti.com. And then you will be able to tap in the code 971486.
I put it in the chat. Oh, perfect, Melanie as well.
Excellent. It's great to see that so many of you guys are in renewal zone. So this is a perfect session for this.
Simone, can you maybe show the other slide? I think we can still see the slides. The Menti screen. Perfect.
Geraldine, is it now the right? Excellent. Great. Good to see so many renewals. Happy to see that there are no burnout, and then also good amount of high performance, some survival. So those in survival zone will be able to give you some pointers how to move into the renewal zone. Excellent. I would love to do another survey. Takes a little bit of time, I'm afraid. And I would like you to start thinking about what is most energy draining for you. Again, if you go to www.menti.com and use the same code and just enter a word, what is the most energy draining for you? Video calls all day. I can certainly relate to that. A lot of stress coming up. Maybe those who put stress start to think, can you even get more granular about this? Do you know the root source for the stress? Yeah, a lot of video calls, not enough time for work. So great, it's about managing the energy if we don't have enough time at our hands. Corporate politics, this is a big one. In our experience, this is adding a lot of stress to many executives. Missing purpose, very important point, we'll come to that. Pressure and expectations, having no clear schedule, constant changes. Yes, great, wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing and for starting to build the awareness around that. Then, as we now have explored a little bit what is energy draining for us, let's turn it around into the positive and let's start thinking about what instantly gives you the most energy. And again, on www.menti.com, enter the same code and answer the question, what gives you the most energy? Sports, great. Friends, mindfulness, yes, very nice. Family, friends, and love. Walking with my dog, I like that. Purpose and meaning, beautiful. Dancing, great way to replenish the energy. Food, assisting people. A walk, sleep, very important. Appreciation, this is also a big one. We'll speak about it later on again. Hiking, nature, me time, friends. Beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing. So great. So as we are now all back, I'd love to go into the energy sources in a bit more detail. And the first one will be physical energy. Physical energy is about our body, the ability to sustain our body with with balance between activity as well as rest. So
you're not on the screen yet.
it's important that we have that we balance activity and rest, that we eat well, obviously, in order to stabilize the glucose level, that we also get enough exercise, both cardio and strength training, that we get enough sleep, that we get enough sunlight. And what are rituals that we can build in our hectic work schedule every day in order to refill our physical energy level? So just to share with you a couple of rituals, and I would like then to break out for you to learn from each other. It's eating breakfast, for example, regularly, go to bed at the regular time. What is also great is take a walk to a meeting instead of the tram, etc. And what is great, and what I have just started to do, is take regular short breaks, because we cannot sustain our energy level for more than 90 up to 120 minutes of attention. So we need to break and refocus again. So now let's learn from each other. And I will assign you to breakout rooms so that you are in pairs of 2 or 3 people. And then I would ask you for the next 4 to 5 minutes to share with your energy bodies in the breakout what activities you enjoy to keep strong and fit, and what are rituals that you can do during a work day in order to keep your body energized. And then we will come again together in the plenary session. So you have seen the questions: what activities do you enjoy to keep fit, and what are simple rituals that you can do during a day in order to keep your body energized? I'll assign you to breakout rooms, and then please dive into the materias res without talking too much about yourself. I know you would love to introduce, but maybe just very shortly with your name. And then I'll get you back in the next 4 minutes.
Hello, Geraldine. Are you in break at room 14? I can't hear you, I'm afraid.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute.
It's just the 2 of us then.
Yes, I cannot see you.
No, my camera is totally out of order. I don't know why. I've been trying half an hour before the meeting, but it's not working. Okay, so what activities do keep you fit?
Right, Simon, 1 second. Right, Simon. Simon. Questions here. Anyway, okay, good. So yeah, so thanks that we talk. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice.
Yes. So what activities keep myself fit? I think really that for me it's really sports. To be honest, I really can take energy when I move. Also seeing friends, having some social interactions. Good enough sleep is more and more important, I feel. How about you?
Well, sports is an important part also for me to keep the balance. So I'm organizing my schedule to make sure I've got sports activities every week in a balanced way. I mean, as much as possible. And the other part is I enjoy cooking and I enjoy doing it with my kids. It's a very relaxing part, and the sharing moment is also an important part of the refill of energy.
Yeah.
So that would be the main ones. Sleeping, of course, but
yeah.
Well, to me, it's part of the basics.
Yeah, exactly. So what the second question was, were really rituals,
The
right?
rituals, exactly.
Yeah, I think, for example, it's quite actually good if you have like a steady rhythm, like you take like the same breakfast, same time. I'm not so good in that actually. My day, I mean, now my day always starts at 8 to work. So I try either doing some sports before, at least, or like, you know, like having a little fresh session before. And then maybe what I need to improve is to make another break like during the day. Sometimes it's very energy taking that we have so many meetings, so I'm full in meetings day by day. Yeah, so I my little breaks would actually be better, like think about rituals maybe. Do you have rituals?
I do actually. Well, my day is very structured because of the family and organizing everything. But in any case, I'm trying to walk to the office, and whenever it's sunny and it's nice weather, I'm taking my time just to enjoy that moment because it's my moment.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the same coming back home, to have that time just for me where I have no interaction with anyone. I'm not picking up the phone. I'm just walking, enjoying what I'm seeing and taking my time. I find it's very important to resource myself. I would say this is my daily routine time.
Yeah. So we have to go to the main session back.
Yeah. Okay. So speak to you later. Thank you.
To know you. Bye bye.
Wonderful. I love how this works, how you can just zoom everyone back in. It would be great to have this feature in physical meetings. So I hope you had an interesting discussion and also learned something from each other. Let's now start discussing the mental energy. So mental energy is about our mind. It's about the ability to focus in an absorbed way and the ability to switch between big picture and detailed thinking. This gives us an instant increase in brain power if we start to oscillate our thinking between the details and the big picture. So what are ways to actually consciously start to relax our mind and start to get control back of our attention during a very hectic workday? I would love for you to share a little bit of ideas and rituals that you could build into an active workday in order to get your focus back. Maybe I start with some examples. And then I would love you to chip in and share your ideas. For example, what I started to do is only answering email in assigned times of the day, not stop constantly just sitting before my inbox, because interruptions during a long day, they will impact our concentration ability very, very negatively. Then I also started to schedule time for strategic picture thinking. I most often do this on a Friday evening where I have my mind free to start thinking big picture. What are other ways that have worked for you?
For me, for example, it helps before I start the meeting at 8 o'clock with the video calls. I take maybe like 15 minutes to quickly think about what are like the most important tasks or points I want to cover for this day. And usually we also have like everyone in the core team to tell quickly what are their main objectives of the day. And I think it also helps to even if you don't meet the objectives, it helps to think about that you can prioritize.
Great. Let's hear another voice. not everyone at the same time. Friska?
Yes, I usually love to talk with my husband about our dreams, and so we keep our goals, what we want to reach, and talking with him and what are his dreams, what are my dreams, and this is keep us really mentally focused and this enthusiasm that we need to live. Always questioning, are we in the right place? Are we? What are our goals?
Beautiful, great to hear that. Yes, daydreaming is also big in order to replenish the mental energy. Also mindfulness can help, or meditation are great ways to replenish mental energy levels. Let's explore then the emotional energy level. And emotional energy level is all about the ability to become aware of our own emotions, the ability to regularly identify and renew positive emotions that gives us a feeling of that satisfies our fundamental need for security and also guarantees a sense of well-being which comes from being accepted and appreciated. And positive emotions do share performance, do drive performance, but positive emotions can't be sustained over a very long period of time without us consciously recover. And in order to recover and replenish our emotional energy, there are also some rituals that you can do on a daily basis, easy ones. And the first thing is controlling your breath. So breathing techniques from yoga or also mindfulness help a lot center ourselves in our emotions. And they give us instant clarity and a sense of focus once we start to breathing normally and regularly. Then it's also be aware of time where you want to socialize and consciously socialize and interact with others. Or it could also just be a quick moment of listening to your favorite song. So I do this often before stressful and challenging meetings. I just put in my favorite song and it instantly calms me. Then also what is very great practice is to start journaling. Journal gratitude journals. What am I grateful for this morning, for example, and get a sense of what is it that keeps us happy. So starting to writing this down can be a great way to replenish energy sources. Now, again, I will assign you into breakout rooms, and I would love you to do two things. Share with your energy body what is one thing that you are grateful for today, and share what types of things do give you positive emotional energy. And then I will ask you something to experience an immediate emotional energy boost after you have, the two of you or the three of you have shared what are the things you are grateful for today and what things give you positive emotional energy. Just share a small compliment with each other. Can be a small thing, something that you just noticed about this other person, about what he or she had said, for example, or can be something different. Just share a small compliment with the other person and appreciate when you receive a compliment. And then I would love you to just pay attention to your energy level and your emotions as you are doing this. So without further ado, I'm going to assign you again into breakout groups, and we will be back in 4 minutes.
Hello.
Hey, hi again.
Okay. I thought they would be different ones, but
Yeah, me too. But anyway, it gets us to know each other, which is good.
exactly. So maybe you start. One thing grateful for today.
For today, just being able to balance my day with such a nice weather, and due to the fact that my kids are away for vacation, so I've got more time for myself and for my husband, and just to enjoy the day. What about you?
Nice. Yes. So I'm actually also in the Ticino, in a little house where my parents are on a vacation at the moment. So I'm very grateful to be here. I have to work, but it's nicer to work from here. And I also have a very nice view on a lake. So I think that's also very, very nice. And tonight we hopefully go for a good pasta or pizza. So I'm maybe grateful for that. And then also positive emotional energies. Where do we get this from? Yeah, I think for me it's mainly really to got appreciation and feedback from the team. If you feel that you all like pull the same string, I think this is one important thing for me doing work. Also, if you have like a nice how you say experiences with friends and family, and you can laugh together, I think that's always nice, and you get the emotional like energy somehow.
Yeah, and I would share, professionally speaking, I share your point in getting some positive emotions from the ones that I see from the team. And trying to have this grow and be sustainable in the long run. This is what I think brings me the most positive emotional energy at work. And otherwise, it's the energy I get from my family. It's like a little shelter, and I really value that for all the joy and the nice moments we have. Well, it's not every day the case, obviously, but altogether, it's a great driver for positive emotion, I would say.
Yes. So when you about a compliment, so yes, I would like to do a compliment that your voice is very agréable.
Thank you very much.
French accent, actually. I don't know. It's very calm, and it seems that you, I don't know how you say that. Oh, I don't know. It just seems that you're actually at the right state of your mind at the moment.
Well, I'm trying to every day. It's a constant struggle, more or less. Okay, my turn then. You have a great smile.
Thank
and
you.
It gives energy to the people who look at you. And it's a key point, I think.
Thank you.
I'm probably not the first person telling you that.
Yeah, I always try to smile a bit. It makes life easier.
I think so. And it gives a lot of positive feelings in the interaction.
Yes, exactly.
From the start.
Exactly. Good. So what did you feel? We have to go back soon, I think. Maybe we talk about that, what we felt, right?
Oh, yeah, probably. I'm sure Simone is going to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's switch back then. Nice talking to you again.
Talking to you. Bye-bye.
Great to see you again. How did that feel? Let's hear two voices. How is your emotional energy state right now?
It was a resourcing moment, this exchange.
I totally agree.
Very nice. So this little compliment game, it boosts instantly your emotional energy. It's about giving appreciation and about receiving appreciation. And I would invite you going forward to maybe pay one compliment to a person on a regular basis during a day. Just can be small things, but it boosts the energy. Now then we turn to the last energy source, the spiritual one. And once I start sharing the screen, hopefully, here. The spiritual energy, this is about our purpose. Purpose we have seen in the word cloud in the beginning of the conversation. The spiritual energy is the ability to satisfy our needs to meaning. It satisfies our need to belong to a bigger grand picture. This generates satisfaction from serving something greater than ourselves. It gives us a sense of passion and also perseverance and concentration. And I will now would like to have a short discussion here in the group. What are some simple rituals that we can weave in a hectic day in order to reboost our spiritual energy on a daily basis? What are some ideas that some of you are having? We are a big crowd here, so crowd intelligence should be great. Otherwise, I start with a couple of ideas. So meditation, certainly important one. Then also can be listening to music again to feel a connectiveness to a greater purpose. Also what I mentioned already, gratitude journals are great for that. Participating in community activities, participating in activities that cater to a purpose that is close to our hearts. And it is also about, and I would invite those who have not done this to think and reflect about their own purpose, in life. What are you passionate about? What does give you yourself sense and meaning? And then also what can be very, very powerful to start reflecting on how you can actually leverage this sense of purpose and your passion in an ordinary workday. Maybe just to share my own example, my own story with you. What gives me energy is to help foster diversity. And whenever I feel on a daily basis, I feel stressed out, I feel anxious, or I feel fear, and I feel that my energy level is dropping, and I know that I need to work for many more hours before I can go home and replenish myself and relax. I just take a moment and start to think, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm in this profession, to help make workplace and to help make organizations a more diverse environment. And this purpose in mind then instantly fuels my energy levels to take care of all the burning tasks at hand. Does someone else wants to share a bit how they replenish their spiritual energy?
We also have some comments in the chat. So gratitude from Lucilla. And Rosa writes, helping others. And Monica says, take time to focus on your mind. Meditation for a few minutes, a couple of times a day.
Wonderful. Very beautiful. And what I also find a nice exercise in order to replenish spiritual energy is in the morning, or for me it's the morning because I'm really not a morning person, but for others it might be the evening, just in where you are in a low energy state normally, just to think about a view that was breathtaking for you. Just close your eyes and think about the view that you just love, just to see, that gave you so much energy when you saw it. I bet we all have this certain view in our minds, and this instantly connects us with our spiritual energies. Great. Then I think we can open up the floor for questions and further discussions. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope it has been interesting so far for you.
Yes, thank you. Very, very interesting. Actually, probably people can just raise their voice.
Yes, just unmute yourself and speak up.
Yes, hello. Priska, my name.
Hello, Priska.
I had a question because sometimes it's difficult to fix boundaries. So it's always important to have work hours and private hours. And sometimes when you have a phone and you have emails at the same time, sometimes I have difficulties to say, okay, now I'm not looking at the inbox of my work and just doing private stuff. And sometimes I have difficulties when I see also that there is an interesting question coming from work, but it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and I should have the energy to say, no, I would look at it tomorrow. Have you tips how to set these boundaries?
Yes, this is a great question, Priska. Thank you very much. I think this is a challenge for every one of us. And we have also seen it with COVID, where work and private life just becomes more and more blended. We are constantly available everywhere and anywhere. So what is important is to start compartmentalizing the time and just be focused on the task or the renewal, the relaxation at hand. Just start to think about these activities in small compartmentals and be there, be really present, because what drains a lot of energy is when we are constantly with our mind and head somewhere else. And not only will this start to stress out ourselves, it also starts to stress out the others, and particularly you are coming across as not being present in the room with the people for whom this matters so much, be it a meeting or be it in private life with your family. So just to start, if you take the time for something, also start not to think about taking the time, but giving yourself the time. It's a lot about how you frame things in your mind. You give yourself the time to do X, Y, Z, and not you're taking time to do this. And as I said initially, renewal is so important. We can only be high performing at work if we also renew ourselves, our energy levels.
Thank you, Simone.
Further questions? Or comments, insights, anything you would like to share on this topic of energy, feel free to share.
Coming back to that topic, I think what happens is, I just can talk for myself, going up in the ladder of success, people really expect that I'm available Saturdays and Sundays and reading my emails. And this is sometimes puts a lot of stress on me. And when I'm hiking, I don't want to look at emails, but sometimes I have to, so I rather don't go hiking, because if I get a difficult task, I think being available in these times, having mobile phone and everything, it's just mad.
Yes, thank you, Eva. It's a pleasure to see you here for sharing this. I think it's something that can drive every one of us crazy. Honestly, I must say, I admit sometimes I go hiking and climbing in areas where I know there's no Wi-Fi, but obviously you can't do this all the time. So what I started to do is just to look at emails in the morning on a Sunday or in the evening, or also on vacations if I need to check my emails at all, just at very specific times. And also I think we also need to be courageous and set our boundaries. And I think there are a couple of companies which have started to stop internal email traffic on weekends, which I think is an interesting step, because we will, going forward, we will see more and more this the intertwination between private and work life. So setting boundaries is key.
Mm. Maybe adding to this, I think you just have really to realize that you are owner of your own agenda, and right, it happened for me the same. They just booked the meetings over lunch, and every lunch I was just eating in front of my laptop until realizing that for my stomach this is maybe not so healthy, and probably for everyone. So I think I just then started to block the times, and yeah, I mean, nobody will actually say something. It's just that always like we have a bad conscience if we do that. But
exactly, and I don't, as I said, this is really my key point I would like to get across. We don't have to have a bad conscience about renewing our energy levels. It's too important, and careers today, the stress level is immense. The pressure and the hectic and the constant availability adds a lot to the pressure and to the stress, and therefore we need consciously to make time during a day to renew our energy levels, and all four of them, not only just one.
Thanks.
Yeah, maybe I can add something to that comment, if I might, please. That technology, at first, it seemed to be an answer to plug certain gaps, and it has turned into what I often consider to be an untamed beast. And so, if allowed, it will just simply continue to attack and not be under control at all. But I think the positive side to it is consistent with what everyone is saying. It's very easy to tame. And people, I find, when certain fences, boundaries, whatever it might be, are put up, people either immediately respect that, shy away from it, or whatever it might be. It can be, say, a gate opener to require others to justify why and how, to use Geraldine's example, why and how sending a meeting request at inappropriate times is inappropriate. And it puts people then in a position to have to come forth and legitimize why what they're doing before technology would have just been out of the question. Everyone would have agreed, considered that's inappropriate. We don't work like that. Nowadays, I think people have less time to consider others, let alone themselves. And so there is this expectation that, well, anything goes. And as soon as technology is used to put up certain boundaries, for example, like on my mobile phone, I can set, and I do set, that after certain time each day, the emails, I don't receive any messages. I have to actively go into the emails to have a look as whether to whether I've received any or not. Weekends, no way. Just don't even look. Even though there might be circumstances where I do. But internally with colleagues, they know if anyone needs to contact me, SMS is the only way, or to call, but emails, no. So I think it's a case of accepting that, yes, it's an untamed beast. It can be tamed. Thankfully, it is easy to do, and that people do respond to that. And I think most people are either not willing to do that for whatever reason there might be. They're not aware of it. But I think consciousness is an important step.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing, Jonathan. And those of you who used to have these little beasts of blackberries with the red light that I was constantly on when there was a new message, this is an instant, like a stress accelerator. I'm very grateful that this disappeared from this world.
Thanks, Simone. I think that's actually the perfect end to I mean, because we hit the clock already. I don't know, I hope that we covered most of your questions. Otherwise, I'm sure that we can connect with Simone over LinkedIn, if you agree, Simone.
Absolutely.
Other questions? And I quickly share my screen then too. So thank you very much, actually, Simone, for this very insightful webinar. And we will also share the recordings with you. And I don't know, Simone, if we can share the slides. You're on mute, but I see that it's okay. Thank you very much. So just to have a quick preview, so We Shape Tech also have a little summer break now. So the webinars will continue in August, but we already planned 2 sessions in August and October. One about the A/B testing with SRF end of August, and the other one is then in October with the Swiss Post about the workshop on visualizing Black Friday data with the Splunk app. Again, here our details actually to reach us or to read about us, and also if you are interested, sign up to our newsletter. So we can constantly improve. If you have any feedback for me, for Simone, for We Shape Tech, please let us know. Send us an email or personal message over Instagram. Then, I actually thank you all for taking the time. Hope you can now enjoy a little lunch break without any technology and good food. And I wish you a very, very nice day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm done saying.
Goodbye.
Schon da, Simone?
Ja.
Was great. Really, thank you very much. I was in the middle of the park in Bern at my break. Now I have to run. Bye. Thank you, Simone. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody.